scope, same quality of work. We put a fence on it, or we put our boundaries on it. This retaining wall is 300 metres long. So all of the quantities that we have for that cross-section detail are based upon 300 metres. 2 metre high retaining. 2 metres high. Not 3 metres high, not 1.5 metres high, 2 metres high. More defining boundary, scope. 2 metres high, Gaudian wall. It's not a concrete block retaining wall, it's a Gaudian block retaining wall. Not a timber retaining wall. Defining the scope by describing it, and we have a cross section which shows us what it looks like in detail. Doesn't matter where it is, it could be Auckland, Hamilton, Christchurch, Dunedin. This is all we know about it. It's 300 metres away from Gaudian. You now are given more additional information. We have 2 crews. Crew 1 will do these activities. Crew 2 will do other activities. Crew 2 will do these other activities. They will actually construct the Gaudian wall. Can crew 2 come in and start work straight away? Or do they have to use, is there something else that needs to happen first? Which will be the first team that arrives on site? Crew 1. You don't need crew 2 yet, because otherwise they'll be standing around with their fingers somewhere with the sun right? Waiting for crew 1 to finish their work. Okay? The crew 1 are now on site, and what is one of the first activities that they need to do? Crew 1. They need to use site clearance. What is site clearance? Site clearance. Descriptive term, what does it mean?
Removing stockpiling topsoil.
Removed and stockpiled. Understand what stockpile means? See a stockpile, a big block out there, and soil all around the top. It's in the stockpile. Let's look out the window. It's been carted away, stockpile on site. Okay? There's a stockpile somewhere on site. Topsoil at the rate of 160 square metres per hour. Crew 1. What does crew 1 consist of? What is crew 1?
2 laborers, 1 excavator,
One excavator,
including the operator.
grade 4, and
They have small equipments, shovel, plate, compactor, which are included in the article.
those are all included in the hourly rates. No cost to say everything. All of those, all the labourers and the excavator come with those small tools. We've got one excavator with an operator and 2 labourers. You know what labourer, crew one consists of, what rates there. The rates of excavator is per hour, is it? Second page, on the second page. Second page. That costs. Excavator, $150 an hour. Hour. Laborers, $50 an hour. So the two of them, at 2 times $50 equals $100 per hour. So the hourly rate for our crew one, hourly rate for crew one equals however long it takes them for crew one, so we have to pay. Did anybody say $450? You got the first mark. $450 per hour. They're going to produce the productivity rate. Is $160 square meters per hour. We're going to take them. Is it? Where's 100?
You just scroll down a little bit.
It's on.
A little bit
A little bit further than that. Lost my cursor. Okay. 160 square meters per hour. How do we work out how many hours it's going to take? They produce site clearance rate of 160 square meters per hour. What's the missing link there? We've got a cost per hour. How many square meters?
How much topsoil? The volume of topsoil?
We've got a productivity rate of square meters. Not cubic meters. We can assume that it's the same thickness, 1 millimeters or millimeters. Right? We need to work out. The area, have we? The topsoil area.
Yeah.
What are the two quantities or measurements that you need to work out area?
Length and width.
Length and width.
Area. Area equals length times width. Volume is something different, isn't it? You need to work out a volume, you need to know the depth.
Yeah.
But in this case, we've got a productivity factor of 160 square meters per hour. Do we know any of these things? Do we know the length?
Yeah, we do.
300.
Length of the wall equals 300 meters. Okay. Tool one, in order to work out the width, equals what? I don't know.
1.
to work it out?
Do we just have to assume or?
Have you heard about triangles? Do you know what a triangle is? You know the length, the hypotenuse, the race width is the side of a triangle. What is the width of our topsoil clearance? Do you think it's that dotted line up there? What's called the existing ground level? That give us a width?
I think we have to find out.
So if you can work out the length of that dotted line across there, using your methods of calculating a triangle, you know what a triangle, how to work out a triangle. Triangle of the length of the triangle. The triangle is called that. That's a triangle. And that's called the hypotenuse. This is the height. And this is the base. I need to know the formula for working out the length of the hypotenuse. All that width of our topsoil removal, that's the hypotenuse of our triangle. The area of our topsoil removal, the width of our topsoil removal. Be able to work out the area, the total area of that topsoil removal, that activity, same thing.
So Dr. will that be like 1.5, like 2.5 base?
Sorry?
2.5 base for the triangle?
It's a funny thing about triangles, is that a triangle has this shape, which is what we've got here. The area of that triangle is the same as this area of the triangle. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Sorry, we have to make it a right angle triangle.
Yeah.
We have to convert it to a right angle triangle. As if it was a right angle triangle. So the base is going to be that width across there, that's our base. That's our height. And this is our hypo. Through there. So what is the width of the base of our triangle?
3.4? 3.4.
Yes, close enough. 3.4.
Yeah. 3.4.
Base equals 3.4 meters. Height?
2.
It doesn't quite meet the top of the wall. There is a slight slope there. But that 2-degree slope I'm going to ignore because it won't make much difference. It won't make difference in terms of third decimal place.
2.0.
Assume that our height is 2 meters, the same as the Galilean wall itself. And I'm not going to show you. All done high school maths, I presume. You'll be able to work out the length of the hypotenuse of that triangle. You'll have the width of your topsoil removal. You have to use the water. If you've got it to 3 decimal places, you can use it. In terms of estimating, You don't work with 3 decimal places. Always round up to the nearest whole number. If you round up, what are you going to round up? If that goes up, I don't know why it's small or larger there, the height, because of that 2 degree slope on the down there, it's to the length of the hypotenuse.
它的 base 不就等于1.4加上1.0？
So the hypotenuse is something
要算啥呀？
算去
equals
这个长度，
the same as what we
这个是长度。
as our area
这个是知道的，这个是2米，
这边知道。
这个我们不知道。
square meters. Work it out yourselves, but don't tell me this.
3.9
That's plagiarism.
我刚才讲
3.94 meters. For width is 3.94.
Let's say you're right. I'm just going to say it's 3 meters. It's plus or
它
minus
这个角是多少？这上去不知道。
哎呀，这个
300 times 3 meters. 900 square meters.
延长到
Roughly, plus
这
or
儿
minus,
下来，
approximately.
这
You might get something else.
这是1.4，这是2米，这就是2.4。这条线是
What's the
2.4，
next thing
高
we've got to
是
do?
2米。这个之间不就知道了吗？你假设
所以把这个先降下来，
对，
那这整个就就是2米，
2.4嘛，
就这个是
这是2米，这是2.4米，然后这条线不就知道了吗？这不是直角吗？这个平方加这个平方，然后再开方，就是这条线，很简单。
我们要拿这个去算那个 circular 的费用，那先找出 error。
简单。
行，没办法，这个问题应该解决了。这个问题解决了。
这个作业你来做。
Right, equal.
我可以生成那个 project 给你，
160
不费出费系统，你其他的
meters
那我不
squared
知道。
per hour. Therefore, i.e. duration. Why do we need the duration? We need the duration because we need to calculate how long it's going to take us. We also need to calculate the cost. We don't know the cost. We know how much per hour it's costing us. If we don't know how long it's going to take, we can't work out the budget. We can't work out the cost. We need to work out the duration. So 900 square meters divided by 160 will tell us how many hours. Equals? I've got my calculator there. 5.8.
6. So what, 6 hours?
5.8 hours. Okay. It's less than a day. 5.8 hours.
Suppose it was like 5.3 hours. We always extend the hours, right? So we do it like 6 hours, or do we keep like 5.3 hours?
I think the instructions further on might say something about that. Let's have a look at the rest of the task sheet. near the bottom of the page, it says working hours. There's the number of paid hours that you're going to get and the number of unpaid hours. And I'm pretty sure it says somewhere round up to the nearest day. $5.8 doesn't choose. This is what we do. We're doing our programming and also we're doing our costing. Round up to the nearest day. Someone should say that. It doesn't. I'm sure it says. Okay. So the nearest day equals the nearest paid or working day. Meaning there's 8 hours. We have productive hours in the day. The nearest day is 1 hour, 1 day, sorry, 1 day. Like if we got a good straight run at it, there were no problems, no wet weather, and the workers didn't take their morning tea and their afternoon tea, they might get it finished in 5 to 8 hours. But they're not robots, they're people, they're human beings. So we're going to say a realistic thing is because if they get it finished in 5.8 or 6 hours, you're not going to bring in another crew for the last 2 hours of the day. They're going to come in the next day. So you've got to pay your workers, in this case for the site clearance, for 1 day, for the whole day. And there should be instructions in there of paid hours are, using this clause here. It should work out. Paid hours. Paid hours generally, I think 9 hours per day. They're only working, they're only productive for 8 hours. So your costs for that day, for that activity, for that site clearance, removal of topsoil and stockpiling on site, you've got to use as your cost, your budget cost for that day, 1 day of costs. Using those rates that we calculated, $450 an hour, 9 hours. So the budget estimate, first activity, I couldn't tell you. You need to do your own calculations. If you do something different, if you only use 5.8 hours, your calculation is wrong. Because in reality, that's not what happens. Generally, we always round up to the nearest day. I think that was stated one day. So we said that our first activity was going to be site clearance. That's what we said. But then when you read further on in the assignment, you'll see a little note here. It says you take 1 day to establish on site at the beginning of the project, and 2 days to disestablish. So then they come straight on the site. In the first 6 hours of being on site, starting doing site clearance.
First establishment.
What we're telling you here is that this is a day which they have to people bring everything from the yard and establish on site. They're not actually starting work. So that's another day of costs if you can allow. The first activity, not site clearance, the first activity is establishment. And we'll assume it's crew number 1. Crew number 2 aren't there. They don't need to be. They can't do anything. But for 1 day, we've got to pay everybody, but we're not producing them yet. So the first activity, the first costable work breakdown element of our program and our budget is 1 day of establishment.
So we have to pay everyone for that?
Yes. Would you, if you were doing the job, would you do it for nothing? Just because you've got a job? Oh, yeah, no, that's why boss, I'm good. No, I don't need to be paid. I'll go and do a day's work for you for free. You can come and work for me anytime.
Make the boss happy.
It'll just be the hourly, isn't it?
It's a cost to the company. It's the first thing that we have to do. And you'll notice it goes on to say that there's 2 days at the end of the job. Also, we have to just establish it's after we've done all of the activities, it's after we've finished our wall construction.
So, some of the numbers are slightly different on the picture than the PDF. Which one's the real one?
What numbers are different?
Well, for us, there's 2 days before we can start work,
Establishment.
and 3 days before. Yeah, so I'm just wondering,
Oh,
if we
okay.
do it based
All
on
right,
this, would we be wrong? Or?
No, no. I'll change the one that's on the because I was playing with it. But if you're following the information that we've got, I'll take that. Thank you for putting it out. I'll see if I can correct that. Having Hugh and I working together hasn't been all that terribly successful. A lot of catching up to do if we do this again. All right. So we've done our establishment, we've done our site clearance. What's the next thing that we can do?
Excavation.
Can we start constructing our Gabion wall?
No. You do the excavation and foundation first.
We've done our establishment, we've done our excavation. I wish I could draw it. I don't know if I can on my. We've done our topsoil removal. I probably removed an area of grass and topsoil. And let's just say it's 100 millimetres. We haven't been given that information, but because we're removing topsoil, it does have a volume. But our productivity rate is just say 100 kilometres of topsoil that we have in that area there, across that area. So now, you need to do the next thing, the next activity. What's this the next activity that's on our list? What's it called? Excavation. Excavation, yes. We've got some more factors in there. Excavation. Excavation. Done establishment and topsoil stripping or site clearance, excavation, next activity that we can do. What do we have to do before we can start building our wall? We've still got our crew number 1 on site. Nothing for crew 2 to do yet. Excavation. Crew 1 are going to do the excavation. And they can excavate and topsoil, and stockpile, again, not trying to get away, we're stockpiling it, going to get 25 cubic metres per hour. This one's in cubic metres. 300 metres. What do we need for our volume?
Width and height.
Equals 300 metres by width by height or depth. Volume equals
Just use the triangle control.
what's the area of our, we know the length. We know the height. Let's say it's 2 metres. Again, height, 2 metres.
Yeah.
This won't be too fussy. 2 metres is close enough. But we've also, I'm going to say, we've taken out 100 millimetres of topsoil.
Yep.
So to bring it down, to bring it down to this level. Went all the way to the bottom of there. Let's just make it in 2 sections. We've got to do 2 types of excavation. Right? We're going to do a dog cut down to there, which is 2 metres. 300 by something by 2 metres minus 100. So equals 300 by something by 1.9. All we're missing is the width. Is it 3.4 metres?
Yeah.
The width. This is the area, or this is the volume of soil we're taking out in here. We need to work out the area of that triangular shape in there. We've got the length. And if you know anything about triangles, it's half the height. The width is it's the height times half the base. Or it's the base times half the height. It's a triangle. It's not a cube, it's a triangle. So what is half? Got the height. We can divide that by 2. Work out the same. Base of that triangle is 1.4 plus width of the gaping wall, 1 metre, 2.4 plus a little bit, 1.5. Base is take half the base. What I say, 2.5 divided by 2 or equals 1.25 metres. If you do it the other way, the general formula for a triangle is half the height, base times half the height. The area of the triangle. You could also, if you wanted to, because we've already taken out 100 millimetres of topsoil, you could also take 100 millimetres off the width, which would mean that our base is going to be 2.4 metres, which we've already taken out that. Don't be too fussy.
Robert, you took like 1.9 meters. How did you took that?
Sorry?
The height. The height you considered there is
Yes.
1.9.
1.9.
And how did you like consider like from where to where?
From the top of the wall to the top of the footing. Is 2 metres?
Yeah.
Right? 2 metres from there to there. And I took out, because I've already taken out topsoil, 100 millimetres of topsoil, I've taken 100 millimetres off as well, which is the same as I could do on my 2.5. Actually, could be 2.4. I'm not looking for a correct answer. It's not a mathematical exercise. I'm trying to get you to understand the process. How you can work out the scope, the quantity, the cost, and the duration. Because we've already taken out that 100 millimetres of topsoil, the width is close enough to take 100 millimetres off that, which means that the width or the base of my triangle is actually only 1.4 plus 1 metres. Right? As long as you make the process, if you don't, you come up with something completely different. For example, if you say the base of your triangle is that all the way through to there, or to 3.4, then that's wrong. That's wrong. We're not taking out this bit. That remains. You should all know how to calculate the area of a triangle. Right, so by doing these calculations, we're going to come up with a volume for excavation. 300 times 1.2 or 1.25 times 1.9 equals something. And I'm still saying that the 300 to 900 metres, 300 is correct. Is the 900 square metres to the stand on. Anybody like to yell out a number there? You can be approximate.
684. 600.
700 something, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's 700 cubic metres. Approx. So I like working in that. Okay. Now we've got a productivity factor, 25 cubic metres per car. How long is it going to take us to remove 700 cubic metres of excavation? Height of the triangle. It's on the drawing. Base? At the base of the triangle? At the height? What the triangle is? I've already said that is slightly higher there. There's a 2 degree slope there. Or 20 millimetres or something. Not going to make a big difference. Just take it to the top of the wall. It's not overconfident. It's an estimate. And I took 100 millimetres off because we've already taken out 100 millimetres of topsoil. It's 2 metres from the top of our concrete slab to the top of the gable wall. Now, is our calculation here of the volume correct yet? Yep. Is it correct? How are we going to get the concrete slab and the 100 millimetres from some-based material? Bingo. More excavation. We're going to do 2 calculations for our excavation point. What do we need to get the volume of this place here? Length, width, and depth or height.
Yeah. Which we have.
Can you calculate all of that?
Yes.
Plus So 700, I don't know, 700 plus. Plus the base equals, I don't know, 800. So it's 800. Maybe something different. You're going to have to do calculations for yourself. Otherwise, you'll get 100%. Alright? And how do we work out our duration and our cost, the excavation? Based upon this cost. Unrelated cost, human cost, unrelated. How long is the duration of the excavation process? We need that so that we're programming. I don't know, 800 divided by 25 cubic meters per hour. Excuse me, there's some calculations. That means it takes 4 hours, 35, 4, 200 hours roughly, according to my very rough calculation. Is that too much? Is it 200 or is it 20? 25, 4, okay. 32. 32 hours. Using mentally, paper, not using a computer. Artificial intelligence. So, assuming that we are fully productive, fully every hour that we're on site, we're working, 32 hours of productive duration. It's the next step that we need to do that. 32 hours in a 9-hour day, 32 hours in an 8-hour day, if you're working 8 hours of production, 32 divided by 8 is 4. Equals 4 days. If the answer, once you've got, if it goes over 800 cubic meters, if the answer comes up for any more than 32, 33, 35, I don't know, whatever it is, whatever you get when you do your detailed calculations, it's going to increase the duration. We might leave, if it was exactly 32 days, 32 hours, we might leave it at 4 days. General principle, round it up. So if it goes over 32 hours, when you do your calculations, you round it up to 5 hours. Because it's a bit more contingency. Then we've got to pay for 5 days for this activity, excavation. 5 days using what resources are we using?
Laborers, excavator.
Crew 1. Which has a rate of $350. Crew 1. 5 days. Cost. Duration. 5 days. We're going to add that into our program. And the cost is going to be based on crew 1. $450 per day. And this activity, number 3. This is number 3. Excavation. Number 1 was establishment. Number 2 was site clearance. Number 3 is excavation. Down to the underside of our footing. Strip concrete, concrete slab, and with its base surface. So that gives us first three activities, the first three items in our work breakdown structure for our retaining wall. And we have enough information to calculate the cost and the duration, the order, the precedence of these activities that they happen in, and the things that come after it. Precedent and the successor. So the successor of site clearance is excavation. The successor of establishment is site clearance. Predecessor of actual construction of the Gabion wall, including the foundations and the Gabion wall itself, are the two activities or the three activities that we've already calculated. So can we start building our Gabion wall now?
No, we have to prepare on people.
Number 4. Foundations. These are two questions that we're trying to answer. Duration and cost. So budget. How do we do that? We work out the duration and the budget by defining the scope, or measuring the scope. Measure the scope of foundations. Measure the scope. And the cost is price. Can you measure the scope, quantity of the foundations? What we've got some productivity factors. Foundation gravel, which is just below the concrete slab, can be laid and compacted at 23 square meters per hour. Right, we do the same thing again, same as we did with all the other activities. Foundation gravel. So the foundations consist of two things. Foundations. Two activities. 4.1 equals gravel or subbase, I call it subbase, and 4.2 equals concrete slab.
今天这堂课很久。
Subbase is (23 meters squared per hour). So we're going to come up with a duration in hours for our gravel and concrete slab with a different lay and finish 160 meters. 160 metres per day. Using our gang of crew 1. Once you know the quantity of the foundations, in the quantities you need to know the area of the gravel, foundation gravel or subbase, 100 millimetres thick, and you need to know the length of the concrete slab. You've already been given that. You know that, but right back at the beginning of the job, how long is the concrete slab? Is it this one, the number up here, 300 metres? 300 metres? Slab? So it looks like the concrete slab is going to take a little bit less than 2 days. So to work out our duration, round it up to 2 days for a concrete slab. Any questions so far? You've already got that already, haven't you? You're well ahead of me. You've already done that. When's the assignment due? It's going to
14th of October.
come up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Right, and that's as far as I'm going to go. I'll stay a little bit longer, ask you some more questions on the assignment. You will notice that we haven't got on to Clue 2 yet. There could be some overlap. Clue 2 can't start installing the Gabby wall until the foundations have been constructed. There's a lag there, or there's a bit of duration where the concrete has to cure. You've got to allow 2 days, is it? Or something? Curing the concrete before you can start to actually put your stone-filled Gabby wall on top of that concrete slab.
Yeah.
And there is time that the crew 2 can start building or constructing the Gabian baskets. So you've got one to take factors on that as well. So there might be some overlap between crew 1 and crew 2, as long as they're not getting in the road of the wall and the excavation and the base construction. We have 2 gangs or 2 crews on site at the same time. They can't start building the wall until that concrete slab has been installed, constructed, and the concrete has cured. So, then there are other things that they need to do. Once that Gabbian wall is in place, what is then the next thing that they can do?
Oh, you mean we do
After the Gabbian wall has been installed,
drainage?
we do
Drainage
after the leave the site.
No.
No, can't leave the site yet.
It's not done.
You've got to do, I think it's on page 2,
Yeah.
Drainage material on the fill.
you've got to do the backfill, what I call the backfill. You've got to do the drainage material and this dark line here, which is called geotextile. You've got to install the geotextile against the Gabbian wall to do the backfill. You've got to work out the quantities for those items. You've got to work out the duration, how long they're going to take, using what activity factors that you've given. And you've got to work out when they occur in the timeline. Don't try and overthink it. There might be options in terms of this, but As long as you get it generally in the right place, that's all I'm going to be concerned with. Because I probably know a little bit more than most of you. There are a number of ways of doing backfill and construction of the wall, and so I got hung up with a lot of detail on excavator time, resources, and things like that. It's not the object of the exercise. So we'll try and focus simply on the information that you've been given and work out your program, your budgets, durations, and your cash flow. Remember, you're going to have to do a cash flow as well as all of this. Once you've worked out how much each activity occurs, how much time each activity occurs, when it occurs, you're going to have to work out your cash flow. Don't forget that once all of that's done, put our backfill in, start with the wall, put our backfill in. There's a little bit of things, a couple of other things. No, it's not on there, so we won't quite worry about it. You might have to do some topsoil reinstatements, don't worry about that. Only work on the information that you've got. But you do have to take account of the disestablishment. Again, it's not something that they would do for them. They have to be paid for it. You need to be paid for it. And while you've also got all of these material costs here, these are essentially one-off payments that will occur during each of the activities. You can assume that you're not going to put all the materials on site the first day. You can assume that these materials, the cost of things like the drainage aggregate, the baskets, you'll only incur those costs as you're actually doing the work. So you work out the cost of your activities, including your labour, your plant, your equipment, and your materials, and then you spread it over the duration. Okay.
When we are considering the 2 days to establish on-site, we only consider that we're going to pay the laborers, right? Not for the excavation or the loader.
You have to have a loader. A loader will be brought onto site on the first day. You should use crew one for your establishment, including a loader.
So do we have to pay them per hour for the loader as well?
Yes.
May depend on what you can negotiate with your supplier. If you're going to hire a loader or digger or an excavator from Hirepool, when you pay for it.
When
Pay
you
for it
drop
from
on
the time you take it out of
Yeah.
the yard.
You take it.
when they,
And then you pay for it until the time you take it back. They don't say, oh, we'll only charge you for how many hours you work. We've got a little meter on that excavator. It tells us how many hours you used it. We'll charge you for that when you bring it back. No, take it from when you take it out of the yard. Either on a half day or a full day, or maybe a week or a month.
Yeah.
So yes, what we allow for equipment the whole day that they're working on. All right. Fine, exhausted.
yes,